What is up, soul family? I am live on Instagram and YouTube. You have to forgive me. I'm a bit late with my August energy forecast. I have just had so much going on with Lionsgate, and it's also my birthday month. So August for me is always peak, 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 abundance, activation, all of the things. So my Instagram family, I'm also on YouTube. My YouTube family, I'm also on Instagram. So what is this energy, this August energy, right? We get Leo, and what I want to start with, okay, this is what's been coming through all day since I woke up. So I knew I was going to do a live today. Cut the good girl act, or cut the good girl, good boy act. What do I mean by that? The lion is all about pride. The lion is all about being seen. The lion is about heart-led passion and leadership. Many of you who would like to walk in your soul purpose or soul calling, you're doing something with your energy. You're trying to live within the confines of what you think it means to be acceptable. But understand something. Breaking the rules is a part of true, authentic leadership. When you're operating in the what is the good girl? And I see this with many of my feminine clients who come to me. They're like, well, I want to do this, I want to do that. Okay, but you still care about what your boss thinks, or what that company thinks, or about what that institution thinks. You still care about the person you're married to or in a relationship, what they think, or what your parents and family thinks. Now, listen, this is important. When you associate your purpose with breaking the rules or being bad or wrong, you're still connected to the programming, because it was never wrong to begin with. It was just a program. It was just a program designed to keep you within the confines and limitations of how you should be. Is this making sense? Let me know in the comments if this is making sense. I really want you to understand this, because this is what comes up. I want to create content. I want to leave this job. I want to start this business. Shit, I want to close this business and I want to start something else that's more in alignment. I've also seen this with people where they do the same thing in their business over and over and over and over and over again, just because it's comfortable and it makes money, even though they're bored out of their minds. But there's a decision that needs to be made, or something different that is arising within you. But there's something within your subconscious psyche that says, when I become that person, I will be breaking a rule. Translation, it will be bad. I will be bad. It will be wrong. You see, the matrix has such a strong holding in our collective consciousness. But again, it was never bad or wrong to begin with. So you got to go to the origination of the illusion. It's an illusion. It was never true. So I want to ask you guys, let's do some self-inquiry. Let's just play around. If you did the thing you were afraid of, what is the rule you would be breaking? Let's ask. What is the rule you would be breaking? The religious people in my family, right? I would be breaking their rules. My partner or spouse who's not expanding at the same rate as me, I would be breaking their rules. The friend group that I'm a part of, I would be going against their rules and what they think is appropriate or not. If my boss came across my TikTok, I would be breaking the company culture rules. I've seen that a lot. Like, what is it? What is the rule that you think you're breaking? Now, this is good. Source is saying, are you going to work for me full time? Or are you going to still clocking in with the matrix? When you clock in with the matrix, you buy into what the matrix has told you is good or bad. When you work for source full time, you collapse that illusion totally and you move with spirit. Technically, I'm breaking the rules right now. I'm empowering you to live from your soul authenticity. If the matrix still controlled me, I would be afraid to deliver transmissions like this. But guess what? I work for source full time, not part time, not sometimes, not on the weekend, not when I feel like it. Every single day, in every moment, in every second, I work for source full time, all the time, permanently, infinitely. That also means I'm permanently on source's payroll. Now let's inquire further. Where are you clocking in with the matrix? And I'm not talking about just a job, guys. Like, people have to make money on this planet. I'm not talking about a job. I'm not shaming anybody about a job. I'm talking about what you're invested in with your consciousness. I'm talking about what you continue to subscribe to and believe. That's what I'm talking about. Where are you also saying, because of the money, I'm not making my soul purpose my priority because of the money? Let me know in the comments if this is something you're doing so we can work through it. The money that you're concerned about, the money that you're worried about, source is going, if you prioritize your purpose, I'll pay you 10 times more. If you prioritize your purpose, you will become the clear vessel for the inspiration, the actions, the information that you need to create the things that would bring you more money. So Leo season, Leo energy is asking you to be honest. Truth. The lion is encoded to live in truth. Not illusion, not distortion. And the ferocity, the fierceness, that lion roar, that is the roar of truth. That is the vocal declaration of one's devotion to the source. I am led by myself through my connection with the source. Not the matrix, not my family, not the person I'm in a relationship with, not even my kids. You see, that is all an illusion. It really comes down to, am I going to live in authenticity? You know, it really blows my mind when I'm talking to people and they're dragging their feet with certain things as if they have all this time. Like, you don't have all this time. We just don't have all this time. You will look up one day and your whole life could have slipped through your fingers. Do you want to be the person that's spending majority of their time doing things that you love, doing things that inspire you, doing things that just bring you joy, doing things that are so in alignment and harmony with who you want to be? Okay? It's going to require no longer trying to be the good girl or the good boy. You got to cut the good girl act. I see this with women more because society criticizes women more when they step into their power. Who does she think she is? Or she's loud, or she has too much opinion, right? All these things. She's too sexy even. She's too whatever. Whereas men, it's like men are expected to be powerful, right? That's their true archetype. Ladies, let me know in the comments if you're struggling with this. Holding power. So Leo comes in to let you know it's safe for me to hold power. It's natural for me to be powerful. It's my birthright to embody power. And guess what? I will let them all mold and shift around me as they need to when I'm in my power. You see, when you want to step into power, but you are trying to micromanage everybody else's perception of you, you'll never be able to hold that power because you'll never be able to control other people. You can't. It's impossible. When you say, this is my truth, this is the declaration of my truth, however you perceive it, whatever you think about it, however you relate to it, is based on your experiences, your reality, and your perception. And it has nothing to do with me. You free yourself. You free yourself from needing everybody to be in on your inner process. Stop inviting people. Stop inviting people to the inside process. Okay. Source is talking about sacred boundaries in August, and I've been experiencing this already. People want access to you. They want to know your every move. They want to know this. They want to know that. They want you to run this by them. Okay, absolutely not. And this is where you stop feeling obligated to give people the rundown on what's happening in your life. Okay, this is when you stop feeling obligated to let anybody access you whenever they want to. Sacred boundaries. Now, what arises for most people when it's time to create a boundary? I don't want the conflict, right? I'm dancing around the inner conflict. It's going to be awkward. It's going to feel weird. I'm going to have to say something that might potentially upset them. Whew. You see where we're going with this? I might have to say something that might potentially upset them. Translation: I'm going to feel responsible for managing their emotions when I speak my truth. This is what I learned. I learned how to be a mirror. If I have to tell somebody something that's uncomfortable, if I have to set a boundary, if I have to speak a truth, I've learned to say, okay, I'm learning something from this person. They're presenting me with an opportunity to embody something deeper. And they are also learning something from me. And however they choose to integrate that lesson, relate to that lesson, that's not my job. My only job is to show up, embody the truth, speak the truth, be the truth, emanate the truth of whatever is arising in my being, and they will figure it out. Not my job, not my problem. Why do we do this? Why do we involve ourselves in other people's internal process? Because maybe you have a savior complex. You're trying to save them from themselves, which you never will be able to do. These are some of the shadow themes for this month. Where do I try to save people? Where do I sacrifice my own alignment to try to save other people? But then it always just backfires. Where am I avoiding a truth that I've seen since day one with a person, with the situation, with the scenario? Where am I avoiding a truth? Because I'm trying to avoid conflict because the matrix has programmed me to be agreeable. You see, how we show up in one area in our life is usually how we show up in all the other areas of our life. So why are we talking about your soul purpose and being seen and having a voice and making all the money you want to as an extension of your true soul authenticity, while also talking about dynamics and boundaries? Because it's all the same. If you can't embody mastery over here, you're not going to embody mastery over here. It's all the same lesson again and again and again and again and again until you hold the frame of the one who feels safe to hold power. Let me know in the comments if you're the one who's afraid of breaking the rules. You're afraid of rejection. I need you to lean into your quirks, your weirdness, what makes you unique. You're sitting on a gold mine. You're sitting on a gold mine. You're sitting on a gold mine. Gold. Priceless. Treasure. The thing that you don't want people to see is simultaneously the key to your wealth. I promise you. I promise you. The thing that you don't want people to see is the key to your wealth. Let me know in the comments. What are you hiding? Ooh, we're about to go deep with some shadow work in a minute. What are you hiding? What are you hiding? What is it? Now, this is something that blocks people from being seen. And there are different forms of being seen. Some people are meant to create music or make art. Some people are meant to dance. Some people are meant to speak on a stage. Some people are meant to run a global business mission. Some people are meant to be high up in their company, executive level, C-suite level, top tier in their industry. There's different forms of being seen. This is why people repel that expansion and the highest expression of their power. There's something that they don't want people to see or know. Now, once you identify this, you will extract your power from it. It could be physical aesthetics. I don't think I'm attractive enough. It could be secretly I'm dealing with this at home, so I feel like a fraud if I step forward as a healer or a teacher or a guide. Or I really don't feel like I have enough credentials, so how am I going to rise into that level of power within an institution, company, or organization? Maybe there's something you did in the past. Well, I used to be really promiscuous, so how am I going to show up now as a divine feminine teacher? I'm giving you guys real examples of things that I work through with my clients. I used to be a bad guy. How am I going to step up and teach men's work? Literally, that has come up with people. I used to sell drugs. How am I going to now be this guy with this business and this successful entrepreneur? What are you hiding? But it's less, listen to this. It's less about what you're hiding from the world, and it's about what you refuse to accept within yourself. Judgment and not accepting oneself is what blocks you from being fully embodied and at peace When I'm at peace with who I am, you can think whatever you want about me. I already reconciled it with Source. Source already told me it was a divine aspect of my plan and my unfolding. Source already showed me that was my curriculum that activate me to be able to fully walk in my mission. I'm good with it. I'm okay with it. Whatever you think and perceive, I'm okay with that too. Because I can't control your journey. You start to see all of the ways that your ego is running the show. Authenticity is your key to everything you want. Authenticity is your key to every single thing you want. Leo season, of course, we got Simba, the lion cat, popping up to absorb some of this energy. This is the Lyran Council activating you in subtle ways, letting you know you're not alone. Now, I want to go into some Lyran history because it's Leo season. Let me know in the comments if you're familiar with the galactic feline beings whom we identify with as being the Lyrans. Let me know something in the comments. Now, a couple years ago, I uncovered something really just groundbreaking about my time in Lyra and Lyra and the falling of that civilization. So the feline beings were one of the first physical emanations, meaning one of the first creations in this universe, and they were encoded with an angelic blueprint, pure love, heart coherent, meaning seeing the light in all. When the adversarial energy, whom we've been calling the Draconians, came into Lyra, they were manipulative, but the Lyrans could only see their light. They couldn't see the shadow. And because they couldn't see the shadow, they were infiltrated. And when Lyra essentially was dismantled, the feline Lyran beings traveled to different places in the galaxy, and they had to find a new home. So some of the Lyrans settled in the Pleiades, some of them settled in Sirius, the Sirius star constellation, and all over. They had to find a new home. So they started these new colonies. So when I say the Lyran Sirian beings, these are the ones who colonized specifically Sirius B, they're showing me, from Lyra, but originally from Lyra. Now, why are we telling you this story? Because many of you here, especially with the Sirius Stargate we just went through and being in Leo season, and we had the 8-8, are remembering a more grand galactic picture and reason as to why you're here. You're here to activate total heart-mind coherence. So then what I was shown, because I'm also very Arcturian, I was shown that after Lyra, I went to hang out with the Arcturians, who are very mentally coherent, meaning they don't just see light. They take into account the intellect. They take into account the full picture of where a being is in their consciousness, and they don't avoid the truth. Spent a lot of time in Arcturus. So then what do we get? We get heart-mind coherence, harmonic rhythm happening in the core of the heart, the feeling the knowing, the love, the compassion, but also seeing what's right in front of us. Some of you are playing out that same story, and you're here to see things for what they are. This is where you keep getting distracted with the same karmic loops with people. You don't want to see them for who they are. You just want to see the light. It's a distraction. Okay, so now you're entangled energetically and you're going through this thing and you're not focused on your own purpose, and you keep giving them access to you and you're not telling the truth about things and you're trying to avoid conflict. These are all the things that Leo is bringing up, because once you master it, you create more space in your vessel to double down on your power, to embody power, to hold power, to be fully seen, but also to lead fully. If you truly want to lead, right? Our lion energy is all about leadership, solar plexus. Let's look at it this way. Let's think about the sun. The sun burns so bright and so powerfully that billions of souls are able to live on this surface of this planet and have a lifetime because of that level of that flame that the sun burns. And the spirit of the sun has agreed and contracted to hold that much solar power energy to fuel billions of lifetimes. I mean, so you've got your own sun that is your solar plexus. It's your internal sun. And it also has a flame. And it also burns passionately, brightly. And it also has the capacity to impact billions of lives on this planet if you honor your work as sacred, as a responsibility even. What do we mean by that? It's my responsibility to be abundant. It's my responsibility to be happy. It's my responsibility to speak truth every chance I get, no matter who is not yet refined enough to hold the vibration of that truth. It's my responsibility to honor the solar flame within. It's like a furnace. Your solar plexus is like a furnace. Okay? So tell the truth. Stop playing it safe. How about you take the leap and you let the universe show you how blessed you are? I have a really big something new I'm expanding into. I can't share it yet. I'm going to share it soon. Some people might know that have hung out with me recently. But I have something major that just literally dropped out of the quantum field. And I was like, holy shit, I'm supposed to do that now? And so all this activation had to take place for me to agree, right? Agree to receive the expansion. Oftentimes we want expansion, we crave expansion, we think about the highest versions of our lives. And then when Source drops it in and says, hey, this is the pathway for all of that, we go, me? I'm not ready for that yet. I can't do that. So all these activations have been taking place within me. And then Source took me through this process of, we want you to recall and look back at every instance of your life where we asked you to leap, each one of them. It was like 7 times or something like that, like really major leaps. Blind faith, pure knowing without the logic and the information, soul knowing. Every single time the universe caught me every single time. Not even just caught me, but carried me through with everything I needed for the total culmination of that unfolding. And I want to share this with you because I know it's scary. It can feel unfamiliar. You are covered. You are carried. You will be carried. I promise. This is what Leo is about. Take the risk. It's really not even a risk. Risk in and of itself is an illusion. Because as soon as you expand, as soon as you say yes, you will calibrate to become the vessel you need to be to hold that reality. You know what I see so much in my work with people is, it's so common. Well, Erin, I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for this to fall in place. And then I would be confident enough to do the thing. I'm waiting for this to activate. I'm waiting for this to happen. It doesn't happen that way. You say yes now, and then you expand to become the container that can hold what you're asking for. You don't try to have it all perfected and figured out and then go, okay, now universe, I'm ready. Because that would defeat the whole purpose of the journey. That would defeat the whole purpose of the experience. That would be like saying, I'm going to take a trip somewhere, and before I go, I want to know everything that's going to happen on the trip. And then I'll go. Then I'll book the flight. Okay? The universe doesn't want to do that with you. Source doesn't want to do that with you. Source wants you to follow the breadcrumbs into a perfect unfolding. Perfect unfolding. Ooh, I got to tell this story. Something else that happened this month already. And it's connected to this thing I'm expanding into. So, originally, I had this desire. And I go, okay, this is what I want. I'm seeing this vision. This is what I want. So as I really wish I could give you guys the full details. I think I can give you guys the full details. I'm going to wait. No. I got to wait. This is me just creating my sacred boundary right now until some things are solidified. But I had this desire, and in the pursuit of the desire, it started to expand. Meaning at first I thought it was about one thing, and then quickly it was about another thing. And then I was like, oh, wait, I think I actually want this, which is much bigger than what I thought that was. So you see, Source was giving me the breadcrumbs, and then so it expanded, and then I expanded, and then something even bigger expanded. And I go, wait, no, it's actually this big. Saying this to say, you might think a desire right now is about one thing, but Source is just using that to get your attention, to lead you somewhere else unexpected. And if you don't follow the first impulse, and if you don't allow the incremental expansion and activation, you see, there's a priming process. I wasn't ready for the full total picture yet because it wasn't even in my awareness. Source had to say, come here. Okay, now you got an activation. Okay, now come here. Okay, now you're starting to see where we're taking you. Okay, now the vessel is priming and being molded to hold what we were really ready to drop into your field. But are you ready? And then you'll have to quickly get ready. And doubt will show up. Imposter syndrome will show up. Fear will show up. That's okay. We're not talking about those things not existing. That's a part of the human experience. We're talking about the wisdom to recognize it and transmute it. Source would not have expanded me into this level of desire, because here's the thing. Once the desire expanded bigger, I couldn't go back to that little small desire. I couldn't go back. It's too big now. I already got a vibrational taste of the full manifestation. I can't go back. Some of you try to go back. It's growing. It's getting bigger. You're getting glimpses of who you're here to be. You get a taste of it and you go, that's too big. Okay, you can't go back now. So the only option left is the transmutation. I've got to transmute the ego back into my soul. What my soul knows to be true. Source wouldn't have led me here and expanded me into this desire unless all of the resources were already laid out. This is the truth. You're scared about moving forward with something. You're scared about pulling the trigger on something. You're scared about making a certain decision right now. But the universe is saying, there's no reason to be afraid. We led you here, and the desire is the breadcrumb. This is why I say desire is divine direction. Say it with me out loud, activating the throat vocally. Desire is divine direction. Desire is divine direction. My desire is a cosmic clue, is a delicious breadcrumb. It's like a never-ending treasure chest hunt. It's going to lead me here and to these people and this experience and that experience and here and here. And then when I get there, when I stumble upon the gold, it will be so mind-blowing. But I would have had fun at each and every step. Someone says, follow the brick road. Yeah, right? I want to say in The Wizard of Oz, she had to follow the yellow brick road. Okay? Source is leading you to some treasure. But if you're not willing to go through the journey, go through the priming process. So, invoking the spirit of the lion. The Lyrans are our ancient ancestors for all of us. So this galactic key code is in your DNA. Total mind-heart coherence, delicious desire, and a fearless. You watch a lion and it's like they are like on the prowl, or like they have this walk that just oozes with confidence. That's you right now. Wear the crown, hold your head high. Be willing to take the risk. Calculated risk, which is the mind-heart coherence. Because some of you have taken risks, I'm seeing, but with a lack of intention and thoughtfulness. And taking risk from a wound and trauma and these get-rich-quick schemes is very different than taking a risk from the heart that is balanced. Don't take a risk because you're experiencing lack and you think something is going to reverse that lack. Won't happen. That's you're trying to create from a wound. Take a risk from the heart because you know that you are already abundant, and the path will show you more abundance. Oh yeah, My husband says, not the get rich quick scheme. You'd be surprised. I've been in many of sessions with people who spent their life savings, all their savings on something, or somebody coerced them, or they got tricked into some scam and something. But you have to take responsibility, accountability. All of these themes are weaving in a divine tapestry this month. We're not manifesting from woundedness. We're manifesting from queenship and kingship, which says, I am already that which I am asking for. I'm not going out of myself to get something that I am not already. I am simply choosing the highest way to experience it again and again and again and again. Again and again and again and again. What do we mean by that? Everything that you want in its true form is energy. Strip it down. Let's do this right now. Strip your desire down. I don't care what it is. Money, love, clarity about something, new job, more clients, more customers. I want to move somewhere. I want to lose weight. All of these things. Let's strip it down. What do you truly want? A state of being. You want a state of being. Can you not see how the truest, purest form of what you want is already inside of you? I want to move to San Diego. I want peace, someone says. Someone says, strip it down. How? Return it to its energetic state. It's a state of being. It's a frequency. It's an energy. It's a vibratory consciousness. You already are it. When you desire something and you want to manifest it, it's that you're selecting and you're architecting the way in which you will experience a state of being. But the state of being, you already have access to that. And the more you access that state of being, you allow the unfolding of the path that will lead you to more of that feeling. If I want to create wealth, I have to already feel wealthy. This is how you become the vibrational match to the parallel timeline. If I want to experience the love of my life, I would have to already feel that I am in love with life. Because the version of you that's in love with somebody and living your best life together is not miserable or sad or lonely or depressed. Access the state of being and you collapse time. So we're going to stop asking the universe to bring us things, and we're going to start asking the creator to teach us how to feel the essence of those things before we ever see them. This is true embodiment. You have to be it. I want more money. Okay, great. What does that feel like? Right now, let's do it. What does it feel like to have more money? Give me some words, some feeling words in the comments. It feels freeing. It feels safe. It feels fun, right? My options begin to open up. I have more access to more experiences. Someone says there's a spaciousness. I love that. There's an overflow. It's overflowing. I feel blessed. I feel pleasure. My Instagram friends are saying it feels fun, freedom, safe. Okay, now hold this vibration. Keep feeling the vibration. This is encoding the new imprint in the cellular memory, overriding the trauma of lack, overriding the absence of what you've been asking for. We're going to override the absence and we're going to overpower it with presence. That means practicing the vibration of what you're calling in. Okay, now I want you to get clear on a specific amount of money, if you can. Doesn't matter if you can't. You can just hold the feeling still. But I want you to get specific, if you can, on a certain amount of money. And you wake up in the morning. You're going into your little banking app. You open it. You see this amount of money. You're seeing this amount of money. What's happening in your body? Tell me what's happening in your body. Someone says 15 million. I know that's right. 300K. I love it. You see it. What does it feel like? Now, I want you to understand something. That number that you're seeing is an illusion. The money isn't real. It's energy. The same feeling you just felt when you visualized that illusory number of money in the matrix, that's really energy in disguise. You have access to that same feeling now. Let me know in the chat if you are understanding what we are putting down. Are you picking up what we're putting down? Oof. The money we are seeing is also a limitation because energy is infinite. So why do you keep putting a cap on energy when you can just feel the energy, which is infinite? And then you wouldn't feel limited. And then you would stop manifesting lackful experiences that make you feel limited. I'm trying to tap you into your infinite being. So this is what you're going to do. When you look at your bank account, whatever number is in there, understand it doesn't mean anything. What did we do earlier? We said, let's strip it down. Okay, let's strip this down. Everything must be stripped down to energy if you want to live as an awakened being in this reality. Everything must become energy to you because it is. The shock, the ego shock of, I see this amount, but I really want it to be this amount. Okay, what if we say, okay, I see energy being translated into a certain dollar amount at this time. But in my universal bank of infinite energy, there is no limit. There is no set amount. There is no, it doesn't exist. The only thing I need to do is capture the vibrational essence, the feeling of money, what it feels like to have more money. I need to do that again and again and again. Now, this is what happens. You're looking at what you see, but your third eye is open and you see the truth of reality, that it's all just energy. So now the way that you're responding to what you're seeing is completely different. And because you're not responding in the same way, fear, shame, embarrassment, a sense of failure, lack, you're not responding in the same way. So guess what? The matrix no longer has control over you, your feelings, your emotions, and your consciousness. You just set yourself free. And because you just set yourself free, you just accessed a different bandwidth of frequency and vibration that's going to teleport you and quantum leap you into the reality where you're going to start seeing something different. That's the technology. It's funny when you really get it. You see the game you've been playing, you see the game you've been plugged into. All of this, it means something about me. Oh my gosh, so much shame. I'm a loser. I'm a moron. I'm a failure. Okay. That's called living in the matrix. You've forgotten that it was all just an illusion, an outward expression of energy manifesting into different forms based on your consciousness. So, guess what? There's no amount of money in the bank that's going to ever, 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 ever match the frequency of my soul. It can get close. And literally, it could be $1 billion. It will never truly be an accurate reflection of my soul because you can't put a price on my soul. My soul is infinite. Energy is infinite. Energy is inexhaustible. Okay. So now you're ready to play the real wealth game, the real money game. You're ready to move energy. You're ready to be a conduit for currency, not stuff and titles and labels and things and proving and performing just to say, I made this matrix money. No, you want to play with energy. You want to move energy. You want to direct energy. Let me know in the comments if you felt shame. This could especially be attached to your age. I feel like by this age in my life, I should have amassed more wealth. I'm upset. Okay. It's time to clear that black magic from your life. Because every time you feel shame, you send out a vibrational invitation for lower vibrating entities to flood your consciousness with more low thoughts. And you will feel worse and you will feel worse. And as you're feeling worse, you're attracting in more experiences of lack, more experiences. You get fired. The little money that you was making, now you're not even getting that. Your car breaks down. The money that you did have, now you don't even have that. And so we create a perpetual cycle of lack because you have a dominant frequency activated in your field. We're reprogramming all of that. My abundance is a state of being. It's not based on a specific anything. It's a state of being, permanent state of being that I tap into when I choose to, when I want to, because I'm a God. And I can do anything I want with my consciousness. And furthermore, when I activate that consciousness, the entire cosmos will bend, rearrange, reorganize, and orchestrate itself around me because I am God. I want to speak to this. Someone says, I've lost a lot over the past years, and it hurts considering the times that we're living in, but I refuse to give up. Starting over is difficult. Starting over can be challenging. However, when we look at our past and we say, well, I made these mistakes, and had I made better choices, and I regret the way that I handled my money, or I regret the decisions that I made, and I squandered opportunities and I lost it all. We're not living in the 0 point. We're not living in the quantum. The quantum doesn't care what you did in the past. It really doesn't. All it's asking is, what about now? 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 On one of my long form YouTube videos a few weeks ago, I shared a story about how I got scammed out of $5,000. And I was not sad about that $5,000. I proceeded to make $50,000 that week. When it's just energy, you let it go. Keep it rolling, keep it moving. Let it go. There have been so many instances where I've lost money and I've learned a lesson. And I understood why I needed to have that lesson. Let the past go. I need you to live in the present. In the present, there's only abundance. In the present, there's only what can be created right now. None of that other shit matters. Like, it literally doesn't matter. I'm telling you, I lost the 5K and I said, okay, that was a valuable lesson. Proceeded to make $50,000 over the next 2 days. Zero attachment. Zero attachment. And this is alchemy. I'm going to give you some real alchemy right now. When you think what your ego wants to see as a loss, you alchemize it into a blessing. Do you understand what I'm saying right now? Everything can serve you. I'm not thinking about the past and what I could have done with certain money or I am living fully in the present where all of my power is, where it's a matter of a frequency, a matter of a state of being that will collapse time. And do you know, all of that energy that you feel like you've missed out on could drop in an instant. And this is when people say, oh, that person was an overnight success. No, they weren't. They were accumulating energy that they finally found a way to let in, and it flooded their reality. Boom, overnight success. All their blessings caught up to them. All their good karma caught up to them. So for a lot of you, your karmic credit is catching up to you, but you keep running away from it. Why? Source is trying to say, if you just be still, if you're just silent and present, if you just access a state of connectivity where you and I are one, it would all happen for you instantaneously, right? This is the frequency of miracles. What is a miracle? A miracle is simply someone aligning with a parallel timeline or reality that does not logically make sense. It doesn't logically make sense. How did it happen? I lined up with source. I got in sync with source. I accessed a state of being that logically didn't make sense based on the circumstances, but because I was still willing to access that state of being, when the universe scanned my frequency, it wasn't scanning the frequency of what could be perceived as lack. It was only scanning the frequency of total pure abundance, and I got a total manifestation of something that I was asking for. Okay, you want to talk about ascended masters. You want to talk about master healers. This is the technology. This is the quantum technology. You only have right now. It's only about right now. As many times through the day, I used to have a reminder on my phone that says, are you in the present moment? And I would make it go off every hour to pull me out of my illusions. Are you in the present? I recommend doing that, to pull you out of your distortions and delusions and illusions and attachments. Am I in the present moment of now? Okay, because if I'm in the present moment, even something that happened this morning is irrelevant. This is how you keep yourself in the quantum. And things happen fast and you keep moving. You're never stuck. You're never stagnant. The energy keeps moving. The energy keeps flowing through you. Things keep shifting. Things keep changing. That's all you need to do. You don't even need to judge a past feeling or emotion. The only thing you need to do is be present. I honor my past. I learn from my past. Now I sit in the presence. I sit in the present moment. I sit in the seat of my power where all things are created. If you want to read a powerful book or manifestation, Neville Goddard has a book that nobody talks about. And I want to say it's called Miracle Manifestation. He pulls you out of your delusion of whatever you're entertaining. He strips it down to energy. And collapses time, helps you to collapse time. I manifested a 6-figure check within a couple of days just by reading that book. And he used biblical scripture to do it. Magic, high magic, real stuff. The ability to collapse time when you need to. Okay, so that's what we have for today. Summarizing all of that juicy goodness, Leo season this month of August is about peak abundance. When I say peak abundance, I mean abundance on steroids, right? Because we're getting ready to go into the fall equinox next. So before we go into the fall equinox, you really want to leverage this abundance portal where it's peaking. It's the season for miracles, I'm hearing. Access that state of being we practice. It's a season for telling the truth, setting boundaries, not allowing everybody in your space, which also dilutes the frequency of your manifestations because you're involving what they think. It's a season for being seen. It's a season for holding power. Cutting the good girl act, the good boy act. Playing the rules of the matrix. No more doing any of that. Working for source full time. And thus being on source's payroll full time. Peace, family. This was incredible. Much love.